Okay, cool. All right, Jodelle, I'm so happy to do this with you. I was just listening to a podcast the other day that told me that if we want to jump higher, we got to get around people telling us to jump higher, right? So
Hmm.
if you want to be successful, you've got to surround yourself with successful people. So
Right? We're the product of the five people we're around the most, right?
right, I know. So I love
Yeah.
your energy. I love what you do for people, and you encourage me. So I just want to ask you a few questions and kind of share all the yummy goodness that you're doing in your practice. So introduce yourself, please.
Sure. I am Jodelle Yount. I am by trade an ER physician, but now I'm out of that and run my own health and wellness business, doing a lot of different things, and also have a health and wellness podcast, Feed Your Lion. So that's kind of what I do full time now. So.
Okay, so I need to know what was your motivation to leave the ER and start your own thing?
Sure. So honestly, I knew right off the bat I wasn't going to do ER forever. I've never been a good employee as far as that goes. I've always liked to run my own thing. I'm very much about efficiency. If something doesn't make sense, let's not do it. And these systems that we have set up currently in the hospital world, the you know Eastern medicine in general. Not everything makes sense. And, I wasn't good at towing the line when it doesn't flow or jive with who I am or what I want to do for people. So
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be starting my own thing. And I pretty much literally right out of residency started, doing tattoo removal, but that wasn't like fulfilling as far as, I knew I wanted to be more than that. So, we continue to grow. I didn't know anything about business when I started. So I really had a big learning curve there to
Yeah.
figure things out. And, honestly, I feel like I'm just now in the last year or two getting in the flow of what really needs to be happening. So it took me a long time because this is like my 10th year in business now. So it took me a lot longer because I really had no background in that. And I had a lot of lessons to learn. Some of them more painful than others.
Hmm.
So, but it's good, I love it and it's worked out. But yeah, so I had to do that transition. It took me several years to transition out of the ER to be able to financially like support with the business and doing like I do a lot of telehealth, things like that, that I knew I could sustain what I was doing before I could actually leave the ER. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So kudos to you. And there's a lot of sick care in medicine today, but not enough health care. So
yeah, I tell everybody, the medicine in the Eastern world, it was based on battlefield medicine. So we're really good at acute problems. We're really good at, if somebody's got a femur sticking out of their, or, bone sticking out or an MI, something like that. We're really good at that kind of stuff, but we're not good in chronic care. There's a lot of problems with that and how we treat. So, that was where I kind of was transitioning a lot to functional medicine. So,
yeah, really, really good. Okay.
mhm.
So what's the number one thing that you think holds people back in their health?
Um, I think people have a lot of fear or they don't feel like they measure up. Like I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, even this weekend we had our event, right? We had Monica Brandt come, who's an Olympia champion. That
Yeah.
was open to anybody." I had a lot of feedback of, I'm not like those girls. I don't work out or I don't take care of myself. Like, and I think these fear and these comparisons that we have to people that are, on a different level, like you got to start somewhere. Like be okay, like in your own skin and be like, this is where I'm at right now and take a little step to improve it. I think we have to make these huge, like 100-degree changes instantly, instead of
Mhm.
just saying, what is the next step? What is one little thing I can do different? Because these little keystone habits can make such a significant difference and they can affect everything else. It's like the pebble you throw in, right? These little ripples that can
Yeah.
carry it out. And I think like this fear of like being so far away from the goal, don't worry about like, yes, ultimately we know we'd like to be at this place, but I think just taking what is that next little step it is. Maybe it's, exchanging a can of pop for an extra thing of water. Maybe it's like taking a little walk in the park every day. Whatever it is, something that you can do and start there. And I think people have this like, this notion that it has to be big and it doesn't. And I think that's kind of what holds people back.
Yeah. I say to people all the time, don't try to be fancy. Don't be a hero.
Yeah.
Just start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
something. I mean, like anything's better than nothing, like and they also say a lot of times like, oh, it's too hard. Well, it's hard to be like not healthy too. Like, and it affects you for the rest of your life. Like I also tell people, think about your long-term things. If you have kids or grandkids, do you want to be able to play, run around with them? Do you want to be able to do things? Do you still want to be living a purposeful life when you're 80? Like, if
Yeah.
you're not doing the things now, like you're not going to be able to do that. So like what do you want in the for the rest of your life, and what
Yeah.
kind of heart are you looking for?
Yeah.
So anyways,
Amen. Oh my
so
gosh.
I
Okay.
don't know if that answers it, but those were my ramblings of the morning.
That's perfect. No, I love it. I love it. Okay. So I know you offer a ton of different services at Leo. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite? Like, what's the one that gets you real excited?
Probably the bioidentical hormones. We do a lot with hormones. They honestly just dramatically change people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you talk about all the things people complain about, the energy, the weight, the mood, maybe, not in a good place in their marriage because they have no sex drive. Like, maybe they're having a lot of joint pain, hard to get around. Like, all of these things, it's amazing how many things like hormones affect. And, we're checking thyroids and stuff with that too and addressing those concerns. But honestly, like you get people in a round or two of hormones and they're like, oh my goodness, I will never not do this again. Like it completely changes their life. They're back to they feel like as good as they did when they were 20, a lot of them, and it's just like to see that dramatic change and how happy they are. And it's like completely natural. It's really good for people as far as protection for brain, bone, heart, like those things too. So it's such a like good all around service, and so many things branch off of that. And then they can, maybe it's easier now for them to go to the gym or to start eating better because they feel better,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so I really love the bioidentical hormones. I mean, I have some services I really like. We're starting to get into like testing genes and how you should tailor your nutrition or your supplements based off your genes, and I kind of, that's really interesting too. But the hormones, I would say, is like a base thing. Like that's really like something I love doing. And of course the athletics and the nutrition side we're jumping into. And I love women and getting them to lift. We should all be doing 3 days a minimum of resistance training a week. And I'm so
Yeah.
passionate about that too. So I think those are kind of my go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. If we feel strong, we act strong. I mean,
Oh, it's well, I
yeah.
mean, and muscle and longevity are they're hand in hand, right? Like
Mhm.
so there's so many studies about this, like how many, even like with Alzheimer's and prevention and like osteoporosis prevention, like weight training, like, and I mean, it's so key having good lean muscle mass. And so I'm always pushing 3 days a week of resistance training minimum and getting your protein in. And like, those are my two biggest things I preach regularly to people, especially to women. So,
Yeah. Well, and like you said, just choose like one thing, one next
yeah.
right thing to do for your body.
Hmm.
And those are some simple things you can do. Don't overthink.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so this one's a little more personal. My last question, we could talk all day, but I better wrap it up.
Love it.
I know we could talk all day.
Yes, yes, I can keep going. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so how does it feel for you personally to be able to serve people in this profession in this capacity? How do you feel about it?
I feel really good. Sometimes, honestly, it's a little overwhelming. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not getting like texts or messages about health related questions. Some of them I may not even be versed in. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a specialty of mine, but and it feels like sometimes honestly a little like stressful because you are somebody people are going to ask questions to. I'm in that. I'm out there, I'm on the internet, I'm doing lives, I'm doing YouTubes, so I talk about a lot of these things, so people come to me with questions, and I feel a lot of responsibility to make sure that I'm living up to that and that I'm answering people to the best of my knowledge, or if I don't know, I'm sending them in the right direction.
Mhm.
So I think the first is like feeling that like, responsibility to do it well. But it really is such a blessing because I feel like, God puts you in this position to like be able to impact people,
Mhm.
and what a blessing that is, like to be able to say like, hey, I helped that person, I can see that their quality of life's improved because of something I told them or something I helped. That's a really good feeling. But again, like it's weighted because I want to make sure on the other hand that I don't do anything to harm somebody or to like do something that would negatively impact their journey. So I feel like first and foremost, I think more of a responsibility for that. But I also feel extremely blessed that I'm in this position and that I'm able to do this work. So,
Yeah. Gosh,
anyways.
thank you. That's really good. You're putting a lot of positive ripples in the world, Jodelle. I really do thank you for
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
all the impact you're making, and I'm so proud of you. And I know that some people are like, "Oh, tell me more." So I'll share the link to your site so that.
Yeah. Yeah, send them to the YouTube too, and we're on Spotify and all that, the podcast, check it out.
Yeah.
We do so many random podcasts, like it's total health, so I get into finances, relationships, all of the things, so it can be very random sometimes, so that's always good, and you guys can find me anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, all the things, so
Yeah.
and or call us, so yeah.
Cool. We'll find you. Don't worry.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thanks,
Have a great
Heather.
day.
Appreciate you.